Hello, hello. This is Haley Gray from sunny North Carolina. I am so glad to have you here on the line today. And I want to thank you for registering. And as a thank you, would like to give you this quick video on getting clients. This video is on how to get as many clients as you want without spending a fortune or marketing every single waking second. I am Haley Gray, the CEO and founder of LeadershipGirl.com. I am also a business coach. Um, in this quick little webinar, we're going to do a discovering the key secrets to easily attract more dream clients and build a profitable business that earns the income you want to have and the freedom to spend more time with your family. If you stick with me until the end, you're going to get a free 30-minute strategy session. That is a free 30-minute build your business strategy session. It will be worth every second of your time, I promise. So question, what if your clients came looking for you? A little bit about me. I was working in corporate a few years ago. I had a wonderful $100,000+ a year job. 4 kids, a full-time job, 2 parents who had failing health, and I was getting my MBA from Duke. Well, actually, my mom passed away the week before I started at Duke. My father was in failing health and needed 24/7 care the entire time I was there. So I was pretty much pulling my hair out, and I was really dying on the inside. I was that proverbial square peg in a round hole. You know that feeling when you wake up dreading going to work each morning? Well, that was me. It was almost a question of, how do I make it through each day and survive it and get to the other side? So I decided to step out and become more in control of my own destiny and focus on building my own businesses. And now I am in control of my life, and I'd like to share some of how I've done that with you. I've done that by building my companies. I own Extension of You Home Care, which is a senior home care agency, a Care Patrol franchise where we help families find assisted living, independent living, memory care, and in-home care. And I've also founded and lead Leadership Girl, which is business coaching and consulting. So I help people build their dream companies, following a lot of the lessons that I learned while getting my MBA from Duke and also while running my own businesses. In short, I am eating my own dog food. It's key to me to share what I've learned so that other people can learn from the many mistakes I've made, because I think that it's important to help other people build their businesses, and that is the key to growing the economy. Large companies are net aggregators of jobs. They buy small businesses up, they lay people off, and they make lots of money. But where you see job growth coming from in the economy is from those small to medium-sized businesses, and that's where my passion lies. So my question to you is this: what have you done lately to be seen by clients? How do your clients find you? How do your clients even know that you exist? It's important that you be seen by your clients, and you have to be visible in order for people to find you and know that you actually exist. Now, this can be a little bit tricky at times because, we think that we're being loud and we're telling everybody what we do and almost maybe even being obnoxious about it. The reality of the situation is that a lot of times we are much more caught up in what we're doing in our day-to-day lives, and the people that are around us and in our lives really don't even have any clue as to what's going on. So in this webinar, we're going to talk about becoming the hunted, because we want people to come looking for us, and how to start building your marketing action plan instead of doing what everybody else is doing, because I think that it's fundamental to understand that when you're marketing your business, you need to do what works for you, not what everybody else is telling you. Oh, well, you should do this for your business because this is the right thing to do. Honestly, there are no 100% right answers in anything in business. And what may work for 499 other people doesn't mean that it necessarily is going to work for you, the way you work, and the way that you think. So if you gain visibility for your business, if you do it right, you will absolutely become a sought-after commodity and become the hunted. And if you do it wrong, you're going to annoy the crap out of people. You're going to be seen as a pest to be ignored. Have your posts deleted on social media and quietly be shunned from groups, whether that's offline or online groups. People are just going to marginalize you and ignore you and hope you go away. So there are right ways to gain visibility and absolutely wrong ways to gain visibility. You don't want to be that guy who was running around the frat house naked waving a flag. He had a lot of visibility, but maybe not the quite the kind he wanted. So you need to be seen in order for people to come and find your business. In the offline world, that means doing things like joining networking groups and building a lot of relationships in your community. In the online world, it means joining groups and other networking organizations and building those relationships. So they are very much alike in many ways, and in a lot of ways they are very different. So in the online world, you're going to be dealing with Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Snapchat, and you name it, and the list goes on. There are so many different social media platforms. The common link between all of them is that you have to build relationships, and you have to post and post and post some more in order to be seen. One rule of thumb that I like to give is that it takes 50 to 100 posts in order to be noticed by people and actually build the kind of visibility that you need for your business. So I'm sorry, 500 to 1,000 posts, not 50 to 100. It actually takes a lot of posts. And you can see that if you're making one post a day, it's going to take you a year and a half to gain visibility. So you're really going to have to post multiple times per day in multiple groups over a long period of time. Now, you can't overwhelm groups by posting constantly about your topics, but you do need to post educational information and doing things that will help people build relationships with you. If you come in there and you post 500 to 1,000 times on buy my product, I can guarantee you people will run the other direction and they're going to ban you from every single group on Facebook and maybe even cause you to lose your account. Don't do that. Make sure that you are being of use, that you're being helpful, and that you are building actual meaningful relationships with people, that you're commenting on their posts and you're giving them meaningful answers to the questions that they have, even if it's questions about who the best doctor is in your area. Now, when you're going online and you're finding groups to join and you're on various platforms, say LinkedIn and Facebook in particular have subgroups, you want to make sure that you're posting about 20 helpful posts, whether it's educational posts or whether it's answers to other people's questions, to every single one of your give me business types of posts. In some groups, it's not really going to be possible for you to advertise your business, and that's okay. Those doesn't mean that you shouldn't join those groups and you shouldn't participate. It just means that you should really focus on building relationships and mentioning your business at times when it's appropriate to do so. I have various groups that I have joined over time here in my area. They're moms groups because I'm a mom of 4 kids, and I've actually found that by answering other people's questions about the best doctor's offices, about, you name it, where to go, where to pick apples, where to pick strawberries, and when it comes time for somebody who needs home care or they need senior help or they need business coaching, my name is frequently the first name that's mentioned. People know that that's what I do. I don't have to sit there and beat them upside the head constantly. I just have to be a regular fixture in the group and be helpful and be posting on a regular basis. That is true of every form of social media. You need to be helpful. You need to give people lots of information. People live or die by information. So think about that 20-to-1 ratio. Offline, you need to find killer networking groups. Not every networking group is really going to meet your needs. I know that there are some leads groups here locally in my area that aren't worth the time that you go and spend at them because everyone that's there is expecting you to bring a lead. Now, you need to find a group, perhaps a BNI group, perhaps another networking group, and really focus on building relationships. It's not sufficient to just go to the networking meetings. You actually have to schedule a one-on-one meeting with the different people in the group after the meeting. So There is meeting time, and then there is after meeting time. And you're probably going to spend quite a bit more time after meeting time actually building relationships with people and forming those bonds, and in order to become a referral magnet for them. So think about that when you're joining groups. You don't necessarily want to go and join 20 groups in a week. You want to go and find one or two and then start working your way through systematically. You want to be of help to the people in the group, and you want to be useful, cheerful, and otherwise, become a resource. Don't become somebody that they're going to go, oh my God, here she comes again. The other thing you can do in the offline world is to volunteer. Now, this is not going to yield leads immediately, but it will eventually work. A lot of my leads in my home care business and in my business coaching have actually come from my volunteering efforts through Girl Scouts. I will also reveal that I've been a Girl Scout leader for 13 years. I'm a former area cookie manager, and I lead 4 Girl Scout troops. So it's not like I'm going out there and I'm expecting people to instantaneously give me leads, but people do call me because they know that I am the expert in the subject matter for senior placement and senior related topics. So when there's a question about those topics, people tend to give me a call, especially people in my troops, and even other people in the area and other troop leaders. They will refer to me on an as needed basis. Your church or your religious institution is also another phenomenal resource and a great location to get leads and get a lot of visibility. By volunteering and being an active member in your church and working with different people, you're obviously going to gain that visibility. But like either of the other two methods, you're going to have to be consistent with it, and you're going to have to build genuine relationships with it. In the online world and in the offline world, it's consistency, and consistency, and you have to build relationships. You can't just walk in and hope that people are going to instantaneously give you referrals for your product or service just because you happen to be a member of the church or because you're volunteering in an organization. It just doesn't work that way. Even though people know you and they know of you, it doesn't mean that they like you and trust you enough to actually give you the referrals. So prove it. This is a quote from a friend of mine, Alyssa Kavinsky, and I've been helping her. Just to note that, this is some of the stuff that I do provide. Have you ever seen people online who post and run? I almost refer to those as like drive-by postings. And those are the people that get themselves banned from groups and they get ignored, and people really hate to see them coming. Don't let that be you. Please do not just go join a group and the first thing you start doing is posting about your business. People are not going to be happy to see you, and they are going to run for the hills. Do not let this be you. So question, now that you got visibility going for you, how would it feel to be the expert in your field? What if people came to you? What if you became the hunted? What if you want to be that person who is sought after, the expert in your field who everybody looks to for answers? How do you become that person where people like you and they trust you? Building credibility online and offline is absolutely essential. You can build credibility in 30 to 60 days with consistent effort. That means that you are going to have to either be online and you're going to have to be posting that 500 to 1,000 posts in 30 to 60 days. And yes, I do believe it's possible, but you're going to be online 24/7. The way you do that is you find a number of large groups that you can join, and you can start posting it, and then you start posting graphics and information in those groups, and I can guarantee you that you will gain a spectacular amount of credibility, provided that you are posting a ton of helpful information in those groups. The same is true of offline world. If you are especially in a networking group, it's going to take a whole hell of a lot of hustle because you're going to be scheduling one-on-ones nearly every single day of the week. but it is absolutely doable. You can do this in 30 to 60 days. You're going to have to show a heck of a lot of hustle in order to get in front of that many people, but it is totally doable. Obviously, for most people, it's going to take a little bit longer because they can't afford to necessarily spend 100% of their time out doing marketing and sales. Building credibility is very important for your business in order for people to trust you. Now, if you're a house cleaner, people don't require quite the same degree of credibility as if you're an attorney, but you do have to have credibility because people are going to have to know that you're going to provide good quality services and that you're going to clean their houses and you're going to do a great job. And you're going to have to show that you actually know what you're doing, i.e. you're not going to try to clean their wood floors with God only knows what, and that you're going to actually use proper cleaning supplies and leave their house smelling and feeling absolutely wonderful. The way that you build credibility is by educating people around you with a ton of information. Now, I know that it's possible to build credibility in other ways, but the easiest and the fastest way to do this is by sharing the knowledge that you know. Now, I know that that strikes a lot of fear into people's hearts and that you don't want to give away information for free for fear that somebody else is maybe going to take your job or try to do your job for you. And that's an absolutely valid concern in most people's minds. The reality of the situation is that people enjoy being educated, and taking the time to educate and teach your clients about, or potential clients about, your business and what you do, you will always be the expert. Take the time, find one or two platforms that you are absolutely the expert on, and preach it like you mean it. Drive it like you stole it. Keep preaching until you're blue in the face. Develop a series of stories that you can share with absolutely everybody. When I go to BNI meetings, I make a point of sharing educational tips with people. I offer bits and pieces of my services to people, and that is how I'm building credibility. It has worked tremendously quickly, and people start to know, like, and trust me because they know that the information I'm giving them is valuable and it's useful to them. My job is to teach them to fish. Now, it doesn't mean that they're not going to come to me for business coaching services because I've given them a bit of information. It's just like handing out samples in the grocery store. They're going to come back and want more because if I can give them this much for free, how much am I going to do if they're going to pay me for information? In order for people to be willing to come to you with their problems or issues, you absolutely have to be the expert. And trust is required. You know, if somebody wants to come to you, say if you're a painter, they want to know that you are the most expert painter ever. You can share tips with them on ways to select paint, the best qualities of paint, and knowing what appropriate paint is for, say, a bathroom application versus a dining room. When would you choose semi-gloss versus flat paint? What are some great techniques for painting? What kind of tape would you use? Now, the reality of the situation is that you can talk about paint until the cows come home, and I'm probably not ever going to really want to paint my house. I really would prefer to hire somebody else and know that they're going to do a great job. Now, if you've taken the time to educate me about paint and painting techniques and everything else, I'm going to feel a lot more comfortable about just handing it to you and saying, okay, here's the color I want, and here's what I kind of want it to look like. Go for it. I don't really want any more details. Versus you come in and I'm going to be like, yeah, I want the, semi-flat, and I want this, and I want this, and I want this, and I want the brush strokes to go in this direction, because I'm not going to have as much trust that you know what you're talking about. And in fact, I probably wouldn't hire you in the first place if you don't bother to educate me and give me information. Trust is required for almost every single transaction and almost every single bit of business that you have in life. So know that that is very important for your business. When you are the expert and you are the credible expert, people are going to come and they're going to hunt you down. If you're not, well, they're going to start deleting you, hiding your posts online. They're going to smile when you're in the room, and they're going to talk behind your back. I've seen that time and again, especially in networking groups, where people are like, oh my God, they roll their eyes because you really don't have that level of credibility and that level of usefulness. If you are not consistent and you are not the expert, people are not going to trust you. You have to show that you are the expert, and you have to share that information with what makes you the expert with everybody else. Be a resource, regardless of whatever industry you're in, whether you're housekeeping or whether you're in painting or whether you're a lawyer or you're an accountant, you can absolutely be a resource. If you're an accountant, you can share tips for people to know, what accounting deadlines there are and what information people need to be saving in order to prepare their taxes. How does somebody stay on your good side and stay in your graces and get their taxes done well before April 15th? Well, you can also explain to them when they should be expecting W-2s and what kind of paperwork they should be getting from their payroll companies. There are tons of bits and pieces of information that you can share regardless of industry. Make it a point to educate your prospective clients. Educate, 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 and educate some more. I can't stress the educate your clients, because educated clients are happy clients. We do this all the time with my home care agency. I actually wrote a book based on choosing a caregiver, and it became an Amazon bestseller, and we send that out to prospective clients and people who call us looking for information. It sets us up as the expert, and we know that people are going to come back looking to us for more information because we've shared with them how much of an expert we are. And we also, to some extent, maybe poison the well for some of our competition that don't do such a great job. So it goes both ways, and it is absolutely a phenomenal thing when you make it a point to educate prospective clients. Show who you are. People love stories, they love pictures, they love information, they love anecdotes. Anything that you can share with your clients that's graphical, that's video, that's audio, different forms of interaction with clients are absolutely going to be valuable to you. I'm doing this webinar, and this will show you a lot of who I am. Show who you are and build a following. Know that the more you do that, the better your business will be. There are a lot of things that you can do for low and no cost lead generation. You can point your business page from your personal profile on Facebook to your business page. I can't stress how many people don't do this and how many dollars are potentially left on the table, because when somebody sends me a Facebook friend request, a lot of times I look to see where they are in business, or somebody will be posting about something on Facebook, and I'll go and I'll look at their profile and go, okay, now what is it that you do again? And if I don't see that information, then I'm less likely to consider them an expert in their field. Be helpful in Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups, educate and educate some more. Be a absolutely fountain of information and share so that everybody looks to you. Carry your business cards everywhere you go. I'm talking even to the mall and the grocery store. I take them with me when I take my kids to Taekwondo, because I've shared a number of them with people, and I've gotten a number of referrals doing it that way. If you're going to networking meetings, make sure that you're following up with one-on-one meetings. I can't stress this enough. Going to a network meeting alone is not sufficient. You have to follow it up with a one-to-one, face-to-face meeting. Talk to every single person you meet. I'm not talking about being stalkerish, but even sometimes you will be, handing people business cards when you overhear them making comments that are pertinent to your business, and say, oh, by the way, I happen to overhear, let me give you my business card. Talk to people all the time. Even if you're an introvert, even if you don't feel like talking to people, take the time to talk to them, be friendly, say hi, how are you doing? How can I help you today? It's amazing what that will do for your business. It will grow your business exponentially. And ask for the business. I have built my Facebook group to 725 members in just 5 months, and that's because of my efforts online. I am also building and sharing and giving out lots of free information. I do office hours, and I do a lot of things in order to make sure that people get the information that they need. And I have more than 6,500 likes on my Facebook page for Leadership Girls. So not just 6,400, it's actually gotten to 6,500 now. Know that the more you put yourself out there, the more you share information, the the more you're going to be able to interact with people over time. You want to make more money and bring clients in and not be in the computer at all hours of the day and night while spending a fortune. I mean, that's the reality of the situation. We want to make more money in less time. And you can do it by following these steps. Question: what if you could consistently close the clients who came your way? So the third part of this presentation is to reel your clients in. So once you've gotten visibility and credibility, you need to start reeling in the leads and the clients that you're getting. And if you can use these techniques that I'm giving you, you'll bring in plenty of paying clients, or you're going to keep letting them loose. It'll be like keep losing clients, never get enough to pay your bills. You'll be casting your hook out into the water, you'll be hooking your fish, and you'll never manage to get them into the boat. So in order to reel clients in, you need to start closing on 50 to 80% more clients. The reality of the situation is a lot of times we're getting plenty of leads, but we're not actually closing enough of them to actually get the business. And it's important that, you know, once we've got somebody there who is a client, that we turn them into a repeat client, because somebody who already knows, likes, and trusts us and is doing business with us is much more likely to do business with us again. There's plenty of studies that show that the retention cost of clients is much lower than attracting new ones. So anything that you can do to be in a business that has repeat clients is absolutely phenomenal. I clearly failed that with Care Patrol, since we tend to place people once and that's about all we get out of them, unless you want to talk about getting their family members and maybe even repeat business out of the same person as they move from one community to the next. So even there, we find ways to leverage to get those repeat customers coming. Now, the important thing with turning people into repeat customers is even once they are a client or a customer, you need to keep following up with them and letting them know that their business is important and that you would like to do repeat business with them. So reeling clients in requires follow-up, follow-up, and follow-up, and following up some more. I'm not talking about being sleazy and pushing hard on people. I'm talking about letting them know what your business is, what your registration dates are, how things are going, following up with them for various holidays, making sure that you're sending out newsletters, and that when you've done business with somebody that you actually put them on your email list. I know I have forgotten to do this more than once. So make sure that you're building those relationships and that you're following up with people to see how they're doing and actually asking for the business consistently. It's important, and it will absolutely increase your close rate and ensure that you get plenty of clients. If you don't follow up with people, and in fact most people don't, then you're not going to get enough clients. So with the proper closing techniques, you will reel in a lot more of the clients you have on the hook instead of having them swim off. You'll never get those in the boat if you don't manage to get that hook in there nice and tight. Closing is a lot like fishing, because you know you're either going to manage to get that fish in the boat or the fish is going to go away on you. So improved close rates for your business are either going to bring in lots of clients or have them keep escaping your hook. Following up is absolutely critical in your business. Follow up with clients until they're either dead or they tell you to go away. In my home care business, that is a thing. And in senior placement, that is also a thing. We do actually lose a number of our leads to them dying off on us. So that's the point where we know to stop pursuing them. However, most businesses aren't really quite that close to being undertakers as we are, so perhaps you want to follow them until they tell you to go away. And sincerely, it really does mean follow them until they tell you to go away. Follow up with somebody, even if they go with your competition. In home care, we absolutely follow up with people who have touched bases with us in the past, even if they go with our competition, because we want to make sure that they're getting the service that they're expecting and that they're happy. A lot of times they're not, and we manage to snag them away just because we managed to follow up. Make sure that you're following up on intervals and put people on your calendar. I know that this is something that's very easy to drop through the cracks, but realistically, if you will put reminders on your calendar to call people and do that, and you can even have a virtual assistant do that or an assistant, that will increase your business dramatically. I can't state that one enough, dramatically. You have to be consistently persistent. 95% of success in business is simply being consistent and showing up. The more you show up and you do and you be persistent and consistent, the more business you will actually have. Give people what they want. Think about who your ideal client or customer is. Solve a problem that they have. So a lot of people have issues with time management with clients, etc. Those are the problems that I tend to solve for my clients the most. And those are the solutions that I tend to offer people. And I give people something that they want and that will make them feel special. I make a point of writing thank you notes. I make a point of giving people done for you solutions, and I sit down and I listen to their problems and I figure out ways to help them get around them. And design offers that will save people time. You'd be amazed at how much people cherish time and how important it is for them to save time and save money. So an interesting statistic that I came across as I was researching this presentation is that over 50% of sales are made after the fifth touch. So this gets back to that follow-up piece. You have to keep following up with people many, many times in order to get the business and to close the sale. So think about how many people drop off, and salespeople drop off after the first, second, third, fourth touches. Are you able to stay in front of prospects until they close? You need to keep poking at them gently until they agree to go with you. And keep knowing, and just know that 50% of sales are made after the fifth time that you get in touch with people. Get the prospective clients or the leads permission in order to follow up with you on the timeline and say, okay, is it okay if I follow up with you in 2 weeks or a month or 2 months? And make sure that you have their buy-in, but most people don't mind if you follow up with them. And in fact, I can't tell you how many times I've told somebody to please follow up with me. I'm just not ready to make a decision right now. I'd love for you to follow up with me in a month. And I never hear back from the person again. And I kind of wait to see if they're going to follow up with me. And then if they don't, then I just kind of shrug and I go off my own merry way. And it was kind of a test to see if somebody was actually going to do it. So get their permission and actually put the date on your calendar and actually do it. So do you ever have people tell you that they'll get back in touch with you, only they never do? In general, if you are doing the selling, you should be doing the following up. You never ever tell somebody to call you back in order to do business with you. One example that I can give you that in my own personal business that I saw recently was that we had somebody who was a prospective client call in, and one member of my staff who was not the right person for them to talk to gave them the other staff member's information and asked them to call the other staff member. Now, my head kind of exploded when I saw this email go by, and it was an educational moment for me because I had to explain to everybody that when we get a prospective client calling in, it is okay to give them the phone number of the right person to talk to, but then you also give the right person to talk to a heads up and have them call that prospective client. You don't just hand them back the phone number and say, oh, by the way, you should follow up with this person. You need to make sure that as the person who's doing the selling, that you're closing the loop yourself, not telling the client to do any part of it. Never assume that they will, and your business will be much better for it. So, do you want to go out and get clients and bring them in and set your prices to make a profit and more? So I'm not really sure what brought you here. Not enough sales, your business might be a mess, and not enough hours in a day. I can help you with that. My solution is business coaching, and I'm offering you a 30-minute free strategy session that is designed to help you attack at least one problem during the 30-minute call and get your business to the next level. My goal is to be a great problem solver and a partner for you and help you get your business to do what it needs to do. Who this 30-minute strategy session is not for. Um, I'm not a problem solver for large manufacturing operations or any kind of large business. I really do focus on small to medium-sized businesses, and those are my ideal client, are small to medium-sized businesses. Um, I really would love to talk to somebody who has marketing issues, operations issues, who's looking to set up processes in their business, and those types of things. Those are my ideal clients. In order to get your free 30-minute strategy session with me, which I would love to have you do, sign up today. You can go to www.leadershipgirl.com, and if you just go to the website, there is a link there for a complimentary strategy session, or you can follow this entire link in order to get to your free strategy session. If you sign up today, like I said, you go to leadershipgirl.com, complimentary strategy session, and that is where you can get your free strategy session. Another bonus I'm offering is that I actually have a phenomenal Facebook group where I give out a ton of free resources and information to help you grow your business and get and provide a supportive environment. If you follow us over to the Women's Entrepreneur Network on Facebook, this is the link. It's the Women's Entrepreneur Network on Facebook, and you can get more information on building your business. I look forward to seeing you there and scheduling a strategy session with you today. And thank you very much for your time. I know that it is incredibly valuable, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.